So in Savior Like a Shepherd, we're looking for a nice legato sound, but make a difference between your articulated notes and your slurred notes. Those very first three notes, three G's in a row, make sure we're getting a nice da, 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 but that we can actually hear the difference between them. Watch out for all of your 2 and 3s to 1s, A flat to B flat, E flat to F or F to E flat. That's a sloppy combination. Make sure we're going up and down right where it's supposed to. 4-bar phrase, breathe after the dotted half note, the G, in measure 4. Please do that. And watch your time. Keep your time steady. Just because we're legato doesn't mean you have to be sloppy. There are no dynamics written, which means it's up to you to make them sound pretty. So number 7, In My Heart, is the complete opposite of number 6. It's more marcato, a little bit separated. Those quarter notes in the first measure are not da, da, da. They're ta, 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 ta. And then measure 2, every time we have these dotted 8/16ths, a little bit of space, and don't get lazy on the 16th notes. Ta, 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 ta. Watch that D. All those D's, please throw out your third valve. And don't forget, don't forget to play them in tune to make them sound nice. Dig in. My D's, as you could hear in my recording, weren't that great. They were kind of a little bit, I needed to be a little bit more picky about that if I was going to record it again. But other than that, that marcato style is very different from Savior Like a Shepherd. So make sure you're making it sound different and have a clean articulation on every single note. Right? Cool. B major scale. They could have written a C major scale if they just wanted to see how everyone's range was, but they chose to do B because they also care about if you know your fingerings, if you know your key signatures. They might even be checking to see if you're listening well and you're tuning, because there's some funny notes in here, so listen carefully when you're playing this. When you're playing from the beginning to the end, play with a consistent sound. It shouldn't sound really funny in the low end and really funny in the high end. It should sound really smooth. I did it in all in one breath. That's great. If you can do it in one breath, you should do it that way. If not, you're gonna just have to take a breath. After a half note, probably after one of the B's. Make it sound pretty. Don't just play the notes and say, "Well, I got through it." It should be melodic. It should sound interesting and enjoyable to listen to with a good sound. So do that. Okay. Good. So What a Friend number 9 takes a lot of control. It's in a funny key, so yeah, you're just going to have to look at your key, not the end of the world. But there are a lot of partials, a lot of lip jumps where at the same valve, especially that second valve down, you have to have control over your partials, over your harmonics. Like look in measure 3, that's all second valve. Da, 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 da. So you got to do that. And it's going to take some practice to make it smooth and controlled. It shouldn't sound like but all lovely. There aren't that many slurs in here. Most of it's legato tongue, just like Savior Like a Shepherd. Watch out for your big jumps, like in measure 69, in measure, I guess that would be 72 or 71, the B to the G sharp. Those G sharps, as you could hear in my recording, weren't particularly great. So, those are kind of squirrely notes sometimes. Play them pretty, make them sound nice and easy. You shouldn't force them, but it should be delicate. Watch that first F sharp. Da. All right, you need to have that note in your head, in your ear, and play it well. I ain't gonna lie, Hillcrest isn't very easy. So it's gonna take some work, some practice. But that's probably the reason why they have it, is because they want to see who's gonna spend the time to practice. So right at letter B, these first two measures are probably the hardest, at least for me. In fact, check out when I was starting to learn this. Here's how I sounded a couple times, and it still wasn't even great. So, finally I kind of got it okay enough to send a recording so that you know what it sounds like. But really, I need to practice that myself much more to have a polished product. There are some really funny articulations that you have to take a look at. You can't just guess how it goes, but you got to read your articulations. Like it's square C, the fourth measure of square C, starting in that B flat. Da 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 da. Oof, it's weird. I had to do that like 20 times slowly, and I still didn't quite do it as well as I wanted to. Watch your dynamics. Um, it's just a lot of playing. This is another, of course, it's a march, so it's articulated. Ta 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 ta. At C, watch your difference between your eighth notes and your chord notes. Ta 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 ta. All right. I tried to make that really obvious in the recording. Even at D, it's the melody. Da 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 da. But nothing is long. The quarter notes are longer than the eighths, but they're not like da 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 da. It's not that way. High C at the end, you just got to go for it. Da 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 da.